Hey, welcome to the speech season. For some of you, this is old hat. Your kids have been on the team. This is going to be their 6th year. And for some of you, it's new. And so it's just a little recap for parents of what to expect. First of all, let's talk about the importance of practice. Students are scheduled once a week for half an hour, one-on-one with a coach. Unless they're in duo or discussion, they might do some group work. But it's really critical that they are there at practice because every week we work to improve their skill level, their performance, and it's an educational opportunity as well. Outside of that one-on-one with the coach, they need to be practicing on their own. And that way they'll become competitive. But you can help them practice. You can give them a space to practice. Usually they do need to practice in a mirror out loud. So sometimes they might hug the bathroom or the bedroom or something. You can videotape them, and you surely can be their audience if you can get them to speak to you. That would be really great. When it comes to what to wear for a speech meet, you have to think of it as your student's, your child's uniform. We always try to look professional in nature. It is totally okay, and everybody wears usually the same uniform every Saturday for every meet throughout the season. You don't need to buy a new suit for every meet. We do prefer to have, usually you see suits, darker colors. Sometimes women can do something a little brighter. Dark socks, dress shirt, tie, otherwise dark pants with a dress shirt and tie. For the females, you have to make sure you don't have no flip-flops. You want to make sure everything's covered. Skirts are long enough. You don't want to be distracting in any way. All competitors have to make sure that their hair is pulled back from their face, both male and female. You want to make sure that the eyebrows are visible so that you can use that weapon when you're speaking. If you have trouble finding something to wear, in my house we search the clearance racks, but we do have some things in the speech closet if that would become a problem. And here are some examples of what previous people have worn, just to have an idea. They look really professional and it's impressive. And it looks like you mean business, and it's kind of like putting on that suit of armor when you get up there. It gives you a different sense of preparedness. For shoes, make sure they're dress shoes, make sure they're in good shape. Females usually sometimes have a little bit of a heel, no stilettos, that's not good. But a lot of times, I had a competitor last year who said she bought her new shoes and she even put them on with her sweatpants when she was practicing at home, and it gave her a different sense of being ready and confidence. And that's what we want to see in our speakers. When kids go to a meet, it is the first, they will perform their speech a minimum of 3 times. They have 3 rounds. Those rooms are smaller. There's probably them, 1 judge, and maybe 5 other competitors. And then they do that 3 times. Some meets are just 3 rounds and that's it. Some meets have finals where you go head to head. The top 8 from the previous rounds go in front of 3 judges in a larger room. And so the days get a little bit long depending. We have to keep their energy up. So if you agree to contribute to the snack tote, that's super helpful. So we take a few coolers along. And some of the things, I had the kids make a list of some things that work really well for the snack tote. Fruit, it's kind of funny, fruit goes before donuts there. Fruit snacks, crackers, juice boxes, vanilla cookies. The darker colored Oreos are tough in their teeth. Granola bars, string cheese, dinner buns, Cheez-Its, bottled water, that's big. Any kind of individually packed snack that they can grab and go, because sometimes they don't have a lot of time. But those are really helpful. There also are concessions there, usually, that your kids can purchase something, and they're free to bring their own lunch. But families do take turns. The captains will have a schedule of bringing things in for the meet. All right, so there's some things you can do to help support the competitor or competitors in your house. The night before, if you could remind them, it goes a lot easier. There's a lot less stress if they set out their clothes the night before. Do they have their script and then their materials ready? Everything's ready to go. get to bed at a decent time. Sometimes they're nervous, but it'll be okay. And it's really important the next morning to be on time for the bus, typically 5 to 10 minutes beforehand, because we do leave at the scheduled time. And otherwise, that would mean you would be bringing your student to the meet, and we'll meet you there. You'll call me, have you bring them to the meet, because it's really important to go to the meets that they signed up for. If they can't make it, we need like a 10-day notice, because typically for each entry, for each meet, we pay $6 per student. And then based on every 6 students we have competing that day, we have to hire a judge, which runs us anywhere from $75 to $90, depending on the situation. So that could get quite expensive. So that's why we do need that notice. If you have, sometimes there's emergencies, things like that, you all have my contact information. Please let me know. But otherwise, we're assuming everybody's coming. And we don't want to worry that, somebody went in the ditch or something like that. The other thing, you are more than welcome. You are encouraged to come to the meets to see these kids and what they do. And you might have a student that, they won't even let me see them. But we have lots of students on the team. So we have lots of kids you can come watch. Because then you have a really good idea. Everybody kind of knows what a basketball game looks like, but not everybody knows what a speech meet looks like. You can watch other team members. You can even just stop by for one round. You don't have to go the whole day. I can usually be found in the tab room, and I can find out where your student is performing or somebody that you'd like to see. You have to be careful. There's no pictures or videotaping while they're performing, and you can't be distracting. You have to turn your phone off. No small children, because you really want to be good audience members. But it's really cool to see the different categories. There's 13 different things, different categories to watch while you're there. So that's a lot of fun. And if you want to come to our home meet, there has been a change on the schedule. Eden Valley Watkins is now hosting the subsection tournament this March 30th. New London Spicer had a coaching change and they were unable to host, so we offered. So we'd like to see you there. If you have any questions, we have a fairly large coaching staff this year, but you can always direct them toward me and I can put you in touch with the right person. Speech kids are pretty wonderful, and it's amazing what your kids can do from the beginning of the season to the end. And for some of you, we've watched your kids since they were in 7th grade and they're seniors now, and what a great group of kids to work with. I'm really lucky you have great kids, and thanks for sharing them with us. Go Speech.